All right, welcome back to another season of Gran Turismo 7 for FTRL. This is season 3, technically, and this is linked a little bit different this time. This is the manufacturer season. So basically, uh, we have two races every week, one shorter 15 to 20 minute race in the Group 4 car, and then the reverse of that result sets the grid for the Group 3 race, which is about 45-50 minutes to do. So qualifying takes place on the Group 4, and then that sets the grid, and the result of the Group 4 race sets the grid for the Group 3 race. We had a number of cars to choose from. Myself and I got teamed up with Lee based on championship results from the last season. We got to pick third overall. A couple of other things there. Weather is random, no wild cards, and yeah, some races there are two Group 4 races in the week, but we'll get to that. Lee was my teammate for this season, so we had third pick overall. The first pick went to, I can't remember who it was, but it was a Honda that went first. Then I think the Citroen went second, and so we had third pick, and we basically came down to the Aston Martin and the Audi for us, and we ended up choosing Aston Martin. In the end, no one chose the Audi of the 8 teams. So yeah, I think that's fairly. I guess maybe we picked the right car then. But race number 1 takes place at Gran Valley. This is Gran Valley South. This is the shorter version of Gran Valley. Interesting track. Traction was a bit difficult at the Group 3 car, but in the Group 4 car, these are fairly planted. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed with the season explanation. It's obviously everyone's in a different car. Obviously, for the manufacturers, they're using one Group 4 and one Group 3 car from said manufacturer. Yeah, and then pretty much that's it. Group 4 and Group 3 race, and away we go. So I think that's everything. If I haven't explained anything, my bad. This is my fastest lap in qualifying. This is the end of the session. I'm trying to trail brake, or I'm attempting to learn trail braking. So yeah, that's been a challenge to learn on the fly. I'm getting better, but it's. Yeah, the concept is still. I'm trying to get used to it in my head. This corner is tough. There's a bit of understeer there as you head down the hill. Obviously, Grand Valley was just recently added into the game, but yeah. So I'm trying to learn how to trail brake a bit, but like it in my head it doesn't make sense in the sense that you think you're going too deep into a corner, but the idea is to let off the brakes gently so you can turn into said corner better than you would if you just do brake and then turn and then power out. So I don't know. I'm trying to adapt an amalgamation of the two. It's difficult, but anyways, not a bad last lap here. We're going to get a distant tow from. Is that switchback in front? I can't even remember, but we're in P6, which is pretty decent enough, anyways, for right now. So we're pace is good. It's funny. I had a little before the race. I was dueling with Aaron in the practice lobby, so we're having fun following each other for about 5-6 laps. It was good fun. Anyways, if you couldn't qualify P6, so. A good lap, and to be fair, I couldn't get back into the 10s, but yeah, a solid lap nevertheless. It's mad how tight it was. I think like a 10th covered like myself and 6th to like 10th. It was mad how tight the grid was. But anyways, here we go. Then look at this livery. Shout out to Lee, man. Absolutely smashing with both liveries. This is absolutely gorgeous. Aston Watermelon Martin, I think is what we're going with. I love it. Anyway, 16 laps, soft tyres here for Group 4, so no pit stops. And away we go. The one thing I had found in my little rally around with Aaron pre-race was that this car was a little bit lacking in a straight line. Good traction and good launch, but I couldn't, even in slipstream, I couldn't really challenge Aaron down the straight, even though I was like 2 or 3 tenths behind heading onto it. So yeah, that concerned me. I mean, look who's right behind us. It's flipping Aaron. So we're gonna have some fun. Anyways, this first lap I had nothing really to mention. Just settle in, nice and easy. Moving on into lap number 8. Yeah, lap 8 is when something happened next. Kind of lost a little bit of touch with SPY and Chubbs. There's a penalty in front, and then Chubbs spins then as well. So that's a position gained. I mean, we'll move up into P5, but Aaron's on my ass. So. You know, can I resist the tide? Answer, we'll find out in a sec. Coming out of the tunnel here, I knew as soon as I saw him at 2 tenths behind, I was like, ah, shit, he's going to get past here. So I can't I probably should have defended the inside a bit more, because I thought, to be honest, I just stuck in this line. I just thought he'd zoom right by, but I mean, yes and no. Like, he gets alongside. The actual top end speed, once he pulls out, actually, like, he does obviously not gain as much, but anyways, he has the inside line. I thought I'd be able to leap around the outside, and just couldn't get back on the power quick enough. So that's Aaron to 6th, and we've got a nice little gap to the Chubbs and Lee behind, so we're just over halfway done this race. And then the clouds kind of came in, but nothing really doing. Lap number 15 to the next lap 16. So Chubbs, look, he has got pace. And I knew at this point as well, he was also going to pass me. Because, again, like, how can I defend this? Heading on to the last lap, I was like, ah, shit, this is going to be tough. Yeah, again, I probably could have gone defensive. I don't know why I didn't. I just thought it was inevitable. I guess the top end speed of these things is not as great as I thought. I got deep on the brakes though. I tried to brake as deep as I could, because I thought if I could keep around the outside, I knew I could out traction around the outside onto this corner, but I went too deep on the brakes, so it doesn't look great. The weather being random. I have not done a lot of wet. Actually, scratch that. I've not done really any proper wet running on this game, like in Group 3 or Group 4, but so I am a little concerned for when that comes around. I will need to start doing some more wet practice, because yeah, obviously you could Chubbs gets a penalty here, which is a big help. I put him under enough pressure in this last part of the lap, and on the last lap I wasn't sure. Yeah, it was in the back of my mind, but I wasn't 100% sure. If you get a penalty in the last lap, it can't serve it. It turns into 1 second. So I was hoping that I got a good launch out of this last corner. I was hoping I'd be able to see a slipstream, and he hits the wall. I was hoping to get a little slipstream and then get within 5/10 anyway, just to make sure. But yeah, you're good. Then last lap, lap 16, Pagani wins ahead, T. Smith, and then Ross, and then I can't remember who's before. There was SBY. But there we go. Whew. Got done. P6. So very happy with that. Yeah, can't say much more than that. It was a quite enough race, but I'm fine with that, because I know how mad it can get in the pack, and we're going to see it on the reverse grid as well. So whew, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. P6 is a good points there to open up the season. Now, heading on to the longer track, the longer race, the Group 3 race. Right, yes. So it's only 10th. All the quick guys behind as well, obviously with the reverse. So, this is our livery. It's beautiful. Rocket number 19. Again, shout out to Lee, who's been, yeah, it's great to team up with Lee, man. I flipping absolutely love it. Someone I always looked up to playing this game, and even playing GT Sport as well. So, to be teaming with him has been, it's going to be fun. And, yeah, man's fantastic. Anyways, away we go. This first lap, excuse me, how do I describe this? Well, first of all, I got way too early on the brakes there, far too early. Shit myself a little bit there. Got Aaron behind me again. There goes Chubbs, so he spins rounds. That's unfortunate for him. You can go flat through this part. I just didn't want to risk getting out on the gravel, and I wanted to save the tires a little bit. So, anyways, it's all shenanigans heading down into here. I have no idea what set this off. There's a bit of a half spin. There's cars coming into each other. It's a madness. There's 4 wide. There's a penalty. I'm going to slip up in the inside of all of that, essentially.
Shit, sorry.
May have gone a little bit deep on Panda's line there, but I actually looked at the replay afterwards. I didn't think it was actually that bad. So, what a crazy first lap. We're up to 5th from 10th, so pretty crazy start. That was madness. Honestly, that was a little wild. This corner I found it tough to brake for sometimes. You go really deep into that corner. This track is like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it was, yeah, like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in retrospect. I've had better tracks to learn from, anyways. Anyways, Jonesy got a penalty, so we move up to 4th place. So what a first lap, man. What an absolute first lap. And we've got some guys in front that I think we can overtake as well. So I wasn't sure what was possible in this race, but what an absolutely fantastic lap when we kept it clean. You have to be really careful of these cones, not to hit any of them. Otherwise, that is an automatic penalty. I have to say, one thing I did, I was so happy with the consistency of the way I was driving it, like not getting penalties. I didn't get a single penalty either race. So I was really happy with that. Underestimated a little bit. I had to lift a little bit on Nobby there. Yeah, you do lose a little bit of downforce in close speed in the Group 3 cars. I thought I'd be able to gazump through, but then flipping Panda gets an absolute great run. I've got Jonesy on the inside as well. I go a little deep, and then so does Panda, and then Jonesy kind of goes through me. I was like, oh, come on, that's not fair. So I was a little bit pissed off about that. Obviously not Jonesy's fault, he ghosted through, but like I was like, really game, really, come on, that's not fair. Anyway, so we slot back into P5 then. So yeah, going well though. This break is gonna have to be careful of. I went deep in this break zone a lot in practice. I think you really do have to break after the 400 board, to be fair. Anyways, lap number 3. Who's the first one to go here? I think it's Mikey. I think it's Mikey that goes off this corner. Yeah, there he goes. He must have gone deep and got himself onto the gravel. So yeah, he goes off and moves up to P4. So you've got Lee behind, you've got Aaron behind, got T. Smith and Chubb. So like, there's some quick guys there, but yeah, we're doing well. Like me and self and Lee, P4 and P5, happy days. It's going well so far. Lap number 8. Lee had an incident with T. Smith who tagged him round, so that was unfortunate. So put Lee pretty much out of the running here. Here comes Chubbs then. I felt like I was quicker than Jonesy on a long run, because he did break away a couple of seconds in front, and I was able to pull it back. All the while Chubbs, who's recovered fantastically here, I would say. Yeah, just got a gazump by. What even is he driving? Is he in the oh, jeez. Oh, that was a rough voice. That was a rough voice crack. I think he's in the Genesis. I think. Which is a car I did not like at all in last season's. So, not the Hyundai Genesis, just the original Genesis. Anyways, he gets through. We got a little 2.6 second gap to Aaron. Now, Chubbs and Jonesy were squabbling the lap before and kind of cost themselves some time. Cost themselves more time. I think Jonesy lost the... yeah, I'm not sure. I think Chubbs lost the back end. I'm not sure what happened there, but... Anyways, they vacate that position, and I move up to P3, so happy days. Happy days indeed. And then you go to lap number 12. Then Switchback loses it. I'm not sure what happened to him there, how did he get out there. But now we're in P2. But again, like there's Aaron, there's SPY, there's Pagani, you know, there's a lot of quick guys behind. So, but we're in good spot. Panda is just what an absolute dream scenario. He's absolutely smashed it. Lap 13 then, I extended this stint by 1 lap depending on traffic. You see Aaron about 2.4 seconds behind. I decided to go for medium. Aaron's going to carry on. The reason why I didn't do soft was because yeah, that was me calculating. I wanted to double check in my head what the how much fuel I need to leave in the car. Yeah, my maths is not great, but yeah, the softs I just thought weren't viable because I'd seen how bad they get later on the stint, and because how much load you put on the front left, you're leaving yourself a lot prone to understeer and going out wide in places where you may spin at high speed or put a lot of wear and stress to the rears, and with how much you need rear stability around here at times, and to, you know, because the cars, it's so easy to car step away in some of these corners and the long corners and some of the traction zones. I just didn't think it was worth the risk. Anyways, a lot of the guys, yeah, sadly this is the strategy I should have really gone with was to extend the lap 15, which is only a couple laps, and then put on the softs. So the gap, yeah, like the gap was solid between myself, and like the pace was, I felt like I could keep pace close enough with Aaron. Certainly in the first stint certainly suggested that I could definitely contend to keep this position. Sadly though, on the softs it was I just stood absolutely no chance. So Pagani was the first one to have a go here. Yeah, he's gonna have a go. His closest speed was actually quite quick. I don't think he meant to send it, but he tried to cover to the inside. So he goes deep, we take that position back. But we were losing time to Aaron. But to be honest, during the pit stop, I didn't really pay attention to what they were putting on. But in my head, like at this point, like given how quickly they caught up, I knew it was like, they're on softs, aren't they? So I had my suspicions, and sure enough, that was. I'm not sure what Will put on in front there, but anyways, yeah, through goes Pagani on his softs again. Yeah, look, hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? Like I wish I could. Yeah, it's tough. Would it have been enough to hold on? Maybe not. I don't think so. You're going to see how things unfold. Their pace in this. I know they're on softs, obviously. And a soft, I'm sure, will make a big difference around here, but their pace they're so consistent. I don't know. Could I have lived with them? Maybe, maybe not. I left Aaron the space on the inside there, and he goes through. We got T. Smith then. They're both in the Ferrari, the Milkas there, of Aaron and Pagani. And T. Smith's in the Lamborghini behind. So, yeah, a lap later then, those guys, they just pulled away on their softs. They absolutely just tore away. And again, I have no defense for T. Smith here. I'll try, but I actually thought he would go to the left. But he actually there was a space to the right he ended up going for, which took me by a little bit by surprise. But anyways, here he goes. Again, nothing I can do. Look, it's quite a sight to have. You look in your rearview mirror, and I remember going across the bridge here beforehand, and to see in my mirror Pagani, Aaron, and T. Smith in my rearview mirror is like, holy shit. I think the old me may have shit myself a little bit when it came to that, but anyways, nothing we could do, and they pulled out a sizable gap in the end, obviously, on their sauce. And I just look to consolidate from this point on. There's a big gap behind to Chubbs and SBY, who are squabbling away. But that's it. 25 laps, 50 minutes later, essentially. We're going to come home for a very nice P5. It's disappointing to lose a podium space after, being there for 20 or so laps, or in that fight for 20 or so laps, but pretty happy though.
Hell yeah.
A very, very good race. 12 seconds off the lead in the end.
Oh,
but
my God.
Yeah, a tough one,
Tough.
a long one, but yeah, very happy with that. So happy days. We finished P5. I really can't complain with that. Excellent result for boat races, and a track I wasn't really too fond of in many ways. So yeah, happy days. Here are the standings after round one. So you see Aaron and Pagani in their Ferraris are up at the top. Both in drivers and constructors there. I see Lamborghini in third, Aston Martin in fourth rather. So not too bad, not too bad. We got some, there's some good flipping. There's a good team down here. Like it's going to be pretty competitive. So look, not too bad so far. 48 points is not too bad for our first race return. So yeah, happy days. Where am I? I'm in P6. It's really small on my screen here, so I'm blind. So I think it's P6. So yeah, that's good. That's a good result anyways. Can't complain with that. And next round is the Circuit of Catalunya for Barcelona. So that should be fun. No chicane layout. It should be interesting. And two Group 4 races as well. So that should be, you have to prioritize on that as well. So yeah, should be fun. And thanks for watching, and until next time.